Well, let's head away from Ghana. Our neighbors in Nigeria are not enjoying much of peace lately. There are incidents of kidnappings, abductions, and killings. The kidnapping of the Chibok girls some few years ago was perhaps the single biggest incident which drew international attention to Nigeria. Since then, series of such kidnappings and abductions have been taking place there. In recent years, the perpetrators have gone a step higher, killing their victims. Yesterday, 2 students who were kidnapped from a university in northern Nigeria a week ago were killed. According to officials, that brings to 5 the total number of Greenfield University students killed by the abductors. The latest killing follows the killing of 3 abducted students whose remains were found in a village bordering the school on Friday. So what's happening in Nigeria? Joining us now is Dari Idowu. He's a journalist with our partners Channels TV. Hi, Dari, it's good to have you. Help us.
Thank you for having me.
Right, help us answer this question. What is happening in Nigeria?
Of course, it's no longer a secret, and it's pretty much out there in the news. Everyone knows this, that Nigeria in recent time, or let's say recent years, has faced major security issues, starting with, say, Boko Haram to X-Men. Now we're talking a lot about kidnappers. And when I say kidnappers, of course, a lot of people are trying to understand where this is coming from, because at some point, we as a nation, we're dealing with a problem of insurgency, say, in the northeast. And right now, that problem translated to what a lot of people called Fulani X-Men, or so to say X-Men, and with the X-Men and farmers clashes, which of course have been quite deadly as well. Then this particular development, of course, you made mention of the kidnapping of Chibok girls. That was in 2014, and that was pretty much what what really triggered the attacks on schools in Nigeria. And since then, Nigeria's recorded several cases of kidnapping, especially when it comes to attack on schools and abduction of schoolgirls and schoolboys. After Chibok, we had Dapchi, and this recent one that you also mentioned, the Greenfield University in Kaduna State. The concern, just to follow up on your question, the concern pretty much.
Dari, it looks like I've lost you. Can you reposition? Let's do this again, maybe. Okay, it looks like Dari Idowu has frozen a bit. Let's try and work the line again. But he was giving us a background to the situation in Nigeria, the security situation in Nigeria that we have compiled briefly in that intro. Dari, you were saying?
Okay, I don't know what you missed in the entire thing I've said, but
I had most of it.
The fact that you made reference to Chibok, and I said after Chibok, we had Dapchi. After Dapchi, we've had targets on schools from Borno to Yobe, and now Kaduna, Niger State, Zamfara State. All these states, although in the north part of the country, we're talking right now, I'm in Lagos, which is south. It's the south part of Nigeria. But when you talk about that is where they're having largely most of the kidnapping cases. And I also mentioned earlier about some of the cases that we've had that could have really brought about this. Because anyone who is listening outside Nigeria or Ghana, who hasn't been following this development, would like to have a little bit of practice of how it got here in the first place. Say the major attack on schools that a lot of people, the global community, even got to be aware of or even intervene at some point, that was in Chibok, where schoolgirls, more than 200 schoolgirls were abducted from a school. And since then, we've had several cases. Of course, Boko Haram claimed responsibility for that particular attack, and that they had the children in their custody. But after then, the war on insurgency from a lot of analysts has transited to across X-Men, now talking about bandits and banditry, just like you mentioned. Nobody is a business organization, unlike corporate where you have one person speaking for them as an organization, or you have an idea of what they say their demands are, the reasons why they are attacking some of these institutions. But in the case of banditry, nobody has been able to particularly say this is what they want. But one thing that is clear is that there's been kidnapping for ransom.
That's a difficult one. So there are no clear demands except for the ransom. So these are a group of unemployed people. I mean, what information is there about these groups? Are they groups of unemployed people who are sort of seeking their pound of flesh from innocent citizens? Or are they people who are gradually becoming a time bomb, a security time bomb for Nigeria?
Okay, so I'm going to take your question from what most analysts have said in recent time as well, in trying to dissect this particular problem. Two ways. Economic problems. The other is the major security threat that we've faced as a nation before now. Some would say the porous border. Nigeria's border, if you look at the map, you see Chad, Niger. In these countries, there have been problems of insurgency as well. Proliferation of arms. We can also talk about that. The fact that people have access to arms. And when the attack on, say, Chibok happened, and ransom was involved, so to say, a lot of people thought they could actually commercialize this. This is a theory out there as well. This is not me reporting this, well, this is a theory that a lot of people thought they could actually use the arms to, just like you may ask that, is this a case of people who are unemployed and taking advantage of the security loopholes in the country? We can actually say that because from where the country stands right now, every kidnapping case that the country has recorded in recent time has a question of ransom as well. To the point that the president has cautioned state government that it is counterproductive for security operatives to be making effort to get whoever has been abducted out, and the state governments are going behind to pay ransom. So this is where we are as a nation. So the economy of kidnapping is growing. Just like I said earlier, that ransom has been so involved, and a lot of these people are also taking advantage of the fact that there are some security loopholes here and there. Let's, if I'm to focus on the security loopholes, right now that is also giving birth to regions. By regions, I mean Southeast, Southwest, coming up with a security outfit. They are hoping that this security outfit would understand the problems better and will be able to address the problems better, rather than centralized, controlled police.
That's a very interesting, complex and complicated security situation you have right there. Dari, I think that we can hang on for now, and the next time we probably, engage this conversation, we can look at what kind of solutions people are coming up with. These analysts, these analysts, security analysts who have been talking about these stories. What do they say are the solutions, and how is the government pursuing some of these suggestions that they put through? Let's wrap up with what recently has been said by authorities about what is happening. What are they saying?
There's been a lot of back and forth, so to say. Let's look at it from, say, the system of government in Nigeria. We operate a federal system of government. There's a president, and there are also authorities at the state levels as well. So when you have a case, say for instance in Kaduna, where in Greenfield University, where we have a recent case where students were killed, the governor had made it clear that he wasn't going to pay ransom. And that, in a way, some people found that very sensitive to say in the first place, that even if he wasn't going to pay the ransom, if he was going to be so aggressive about how he goes about this, then the kidnappers can also go about it the way they want to go about it. So that is in the case of Kaduna State. It's an isolated case where the governor has made it clear that he wasn't going to pay ransom. Other governors have been dealing with this their own way. Say, okay, in Niger State or in Borno State, if children are kidnapped, a lot of people understand how it is when you have soft targets or when you kidnap children. Nobody wants that kind of thing. Nobody wants kidnapping in the first place anyway. But when children are involved, it becomes even way more pressing for authorities to do something. So states have been reacting to this in their own ways, and the federal government as well. Of course, these cases of kidnapping, banditry, or herdsmen, any name you want to call the security problem Nigeria is facing right now, has also led to the removal of the service chiefs, the heads of the security agencies in the country, and that was done in recent time. Hoping the country did that, hoping that that would put an end to so many of these security cases that threats rather that the country has faced in recent time.
Let's leave this for our viewers to digest, make sense of, and I'm sure that we'll be able to connect again, perhaps tomorrow or later in the week. Dari, thank you so much for this information and the analysis that you have done. Dari Idowu is a journalist with our partners Channels Television in Nigeria, breaking it down for us. Well, he mentioned the number of places where some of these kidnappings have taken place, starting, of course, with Chibok, which was some years back. But he talks about Dache, about Borno State, about Yobe State, about the Niger State, Lagos, and the fact that it looks like people are beginning to see this as a commercial enterprise, commercialize these kidnappings and seeking ransom, which authorities are sometimes compelled to pay. It's a very complicated matter. You're watching The Pulse with me, Gifty, and Apia. We'll be right back.